Welcome back to another short format build guide. Today's guys, we're going over the Columnus Mark 4 or 5 autogun and how it is actually probably one of the most busted build guides for the veteran class. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. Now, it really helps with a like, follow, subscribe, guys. If you like the content, super helps the channel, and I want to see you guys in the live streams. Super important. But it's actually the Mark 6 power sword. Go ahead and hop into it. The melee weapon of choice is the Mark 6 power sword. It has great horizontal light attacks, and we want high damage and high cleave damage. Cleave targets is nice, but not super important. Finesse is not super important, and mobility is very nice to have as well for pushing away poxbursters and things. For our damage, for our perks, we want 20% damage, 20-25% damage on flak armored enemies, and then I take melee weak spot damage, but you could also roll that for maniac damage. It's really easy to hit weak spots with this sword and chop off the heads of whole hordes, but you can pick what you like there, just depending on what you're struggling with. Then for our blessings, you're going to take slaughter or any other blessing that builds power on hit or kill, very important to keep your chained attacks up and going. And then you want power cycler. You absolutely have to have power cycler. You either need power cycler 4 is absolutely crucial, and 3 will do if you don't have a better one, and without it, this build is going to be hard to use, but you can run it without power cycler if you have to. Then we have the primary weapon, the absolute bread and butter of this build. You want the highest damage stat you can get, as long as stopping power and ammo. You need high stopping power, actually affects your armor penetration, so you need really high stopping power, ammo because you're sucking up ammo on this build, and damage because you need to do a lot of damage. The gun kicks a lot, so having better stability is nice, but you'll get used to it and you'll just have to get good. You're going for weak spots on this build, and you're going to aim down sights, and the kick is not really that bad. You'll get used to it. So then for perks, you want Maniac and Flak Armored damage, because we already do a ton of unarmored damage, so having Maniac and Flak Armored damage is going to really round out your ability to really clear out hordes. For blessings, I take Fire Frenzy, but you could change this out for something else that does plus power or damage on kill or hit, and that's great. And then Dum Dum I really recommend, because it only takes 5 or 6 shots to get that bonus up, and it's very consistent and easy to keep that bonus stack up very consistently. So that is your build overall for the autogun for your weapons. And then for your Curios, we are going to get a stamina, because we're going into melee a lot with this build, plus health, and then either plus toughness or a wound. And then for your perk modifiers, you want plus toughness, plus health, damage resistance to gunners, and block efficiency is also fantastic. You can pick and choose there really what your favorites are. It's not a big deal. For the talent tree, we essentially want to add a lot of damage stacks, weak spot bonuses, and just damage bonuses. So we have plus toughness, damage reduction. That's nice, but we're really coming through here to get this confirmed kill. You can go through to the left over here probably as well if you wanted to, but I really recommend the confirmed kill. Stamina plus toughness. That's nice. Crack grenade. This is the all-around best grenade. This lets you deal with the carapace armored enemies really easily. As well as your power sword, you can do a push attack light to crush your heads, and you will probably one-cycle crushers if doing it correctly. Then we have plus health. That's great. Covering fire gives great base damage and toughness to your teammates. You can take this point off and give it somewhere else if you'd like. Over here to the right is very important. You get plus 10% melee base damage, and you get plus 25% damage to all other weapons for 5 seconds. So you get a kill with your machine gun, switch to your sword, it's doing 25% more damage, switch to your gun, 25% more damage. Super easy bonus to activate, very consistent, very powerful. Then we have plus 5% range damage, catch a breath, more toughness. That's great. You could take this left one if you really wanted to, but what's really important is survivalist. This is going to let you run your gun all game. This is a machine gun. Choose up ammo. This lets you run it basically as much as you want all game, as well as lets your teammates run as much as they want all game with their guns. Now these other two are just pale in comparison to this one, so you absolutely have to take this one for sure. Let's see, reload boost, that's great. Toughness, damage reduction, that's yep, that's great. Replenish a grenade every 60 seconds. You can pick another one of these if you like, but this one is the most consistent and best in my opinion. Voices command is fantastic. Don't take this reviving thing because it increases your cooldown, and honestly, just use your voice of command and stick the res. It'll knock everybody back. You should have plenty of time to stick the res. Duty and honor gives you a little more toughness. That's great. Then we have more suppression, so you don't need to run Terrifying Barrage, in my opinion, on your autogun because they're going to get suppressed anyways, anybody you're interested in suppressing. Plus range damage, great. Plus 30% weak spot damage, great. Plus ammo, because we're absolutely running through ammo on this build. And then more weak spot damage, or weak spot power on ability use, which is where you pop your F for your commanding shout. And Superior Complex just gives you a little more damage to elites. Then we have for the Emperor, which is more base melee damage and range damage on ability use. Yep. And then ability cooldown reduction on specialist kills. We kill a lot of those going for weak spots, remember, on this build. Reload, 50% toughness damage boost, toughness damage reduction if over 75% toughness, so that gives you just a little bit thicker overall. More toughness, damage, this is absolutely necessary, damage to Ogrins and Monstrosities, super consistent, competitive urge, gives you a great damage bonus overall, and then focus targets to give you that great bonus stacks when you ping high value targets. And if you want to get these other perks down here, I really recommend maybe trimming from up here, maybe taking off covering fire, grabbing one of these, or you can probably take off marksman, probably fully loaded you could even get away with, or superiority complex, and pick up these 3 down here. So that is the build overall for you guys today in a really short format. I hope you liked the video. I will see you next time. Like and subscribe and notifications if you want to come to the live streams. We have some fun there. So see you guys later.